Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And to all my brothers out here preaching this truth to you, I say Shalom. This is a Montazar from the Chicago camp coming back at you again with another lesson entitled Killers of the Flower Moon and $400 million. Okay? So I'll start off by um, saying that the elder apostle Ramla he did a video. I want to say in the summertime. It might have been May or June. He knew about the this movie that was being made. All right, so for the purpose of entertainment, Esau says, "Hey, let me dig up these murders, okay, and make a movie out of it. This is going to be entertaining." When in fact, their tongue is falling upon themselves. Okay. So in this lesson, we're just going to go over um, the movie, which I was able to see. And if you're able to see the movie, go ahead and see it. It's a great movie. Um, it's one of those movies that even though it's 3 hours, it doesn't feel like it's 3 hours. Um, it's just amazing. Okay. So the the Osage are Israelites, all right, and Esau Edom. You know who Esau Edom is, okay? For you would think in your mind that your life would be great with $400 million, okay? Not in this place, okay? The scripture says that this is not our rest, and nothing proves that more, all right, than um, this history, this movie. All right, this documented history being put in a cinematic, lens. All right, $400 million in the 1920s. What? And guess what? You're still under the curses. Okay, the Osage were the Israelites, and they're under the curses. All right, we're gonna see that. Now let's take a look here. It says killer of the flower moon and $400 million. It says worth about $400 million annually in modern currency. By the 1920s, oil transformed the daily lives of the Osage people and turned them into what was then considered the richest nation on earth. Okay, now, what happened is Esau moved these people to reservations and gave them the most undesirable land to try to live off of. All right. And it turns out that the land that they pushed them off of onto, all right, had oil. So the whole idea of this movie and also what happened in history was Esau's basically premeditated murder. Okay. Esau premeditated murder on the Osage to take the land. Okay, that's what he did. All right, and in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it talks about the children of Israel having no might in the power of their hand. So here you have the richest people, okay, on earth, the richest nation on earth at the time, and they couldn't stop from being picked off one by one, murdered. Over 60 murders, okay? 60 murders between 1918 and 1931, and it more than 60 murders, and the bulk of them came between 1921 and 1926, and this is in Osage County, Oklahoma. All right, so here in my little thumbnail, it says the true story of the Osage murders and why so many remain unsolved. Well, they remain unsolved because it's Esau Edom. That's why it remains unsolved. All right. It says oil curse on Osage Indians. It's not a curse on Osage Indians. It's a curse on the Israelites. Okay, so that's what this whole movie is about. It was about how they were trying to get the land rights. Okay, they call them headstone rights. All right, for the minerals. All right, and the oil. All right, and they did it through marriage in most cases. So in this movie, they talked about how basically Leonardo DiCaprio's character married into their family. He wasn't the only one doing that. Okay, and a lot of the reason why they did that is because Esau wrote these horrible laws where they couldn't spend their own money without kind of like an overseer. They had to have an overseer to help them purchase things and do things. All right. And so when these the men in their family died off, the older men, you basically had a group of women who was making all the decisions. And what was they doing? Marrying Esau. They was marrying Esau, all right, to make life easier for themselves. Okay, in order again, they couldn't purchase things without oversight. You got to check out the movie. The movie is pretty much it's incredible, and I'm glad that Pastor Ramlov, he made the video, he put everybody up on it, and then that kept me in tune, waiting for it to come out. And so it came out. I was able to see it, and it's a really really good movie. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and get into this lesson. So the Osage are Israelites. All right, and you had Esau Edom, all right, as the villain, which he always is. Job 9:24, it says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Everything is, even though, look at this for a second. You got $400 million, but you got to have a so-called white man give you permission to buy a train ticket, a bus ticket, to purchase this, to purchase that. You see these unrighteous decrees? That shows you, okay, that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked had the power to control people who have $400 million because of his laws. This is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." See, $400 million can't save you. The Osage, all right, the Osage Israelites prove that. This is Micah 2:1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand, and they covet fields and take them by violence." Okay? That these are the scriptures I wish was playing while I was watching that movie. "And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, Behold, against this family I do devise an evil from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil." So even though the Lord had to repay, all right, and punish us and repay us, all right, for breaking the law, statutes, and commandments, Esau ain't gonna get away with it. All right. Um, there's a scene in the movie. Okay, hold on. Let me before I get there. Let me hit this Proverbs 4:16. It says Proverbs 4:16. It says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall." All right. Psalms 94:20. "Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law?" You see, so in this movie, you had laws that were written to control these people. Okay, all right. So now there was a scene in the movie, and I don't I'm not trying to spoil it. It's just one little scene, and it's dealing with my lesson. All right, so I got to say this. Okay, there's a scene in the movie where a comment was made. because the grandmother, okay, the mother, the elder mother, she saw what Esau was doing, and she could see right through it. They're marrying into our family, and she made a comment, and her comment was that her family was turning white. Okay, now I had to say that because so many times we've covered the fact that your nationality comes from your father. Okay, um, mentioned that quite a few times on this channel, and just in the ministry period. Your nationality comes from your father. All right, so very very important to the Israelite woman who was not supposed to be defiled by these heathen. All right, you got choices. All right, you got plenty of Israelite men. All right, so you know the woman now. There's no excuse for you. Now, if you want to call it dating outside your race, you call it what you want to, but that's not what the Lord called it. You're being defiled by the heathen. All right, this is Numbers 1:18. Okay, and this goes back into you are who your father is. Numbers 1:18. It says, and they assemble all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. As Yahweh commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. So here we have in verse 19 tells you that Yahweh himself commanded Moses on how to what? Number the houses of their fathers and establish the pedigrees by the house of their fathers. That's how it works. All right. So that's what was happening in the movie. You had Esau, right? You had Esau marrying into their family in order to gain the valuable headstone rights. Okay. All right. This is Sirach 26:20. It says, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. Okay? So here you have it in Sirach, the 26th chapter, telling you make sure you sow the ground with your own seed. All right. Now, when you go into, I believe it's Matthew, the 13th chapter, the Bible speaks about the wheat and the tares. Okay. And the tares being the children of the wicked. So we've covered all of this. We've covered all this. And if you don't believe, here, this is just more proof. More proof. Okay. The Osage were Israelites. All right. You gotta go see the movie Killers of the Flower Moon. All right. And in closing, let's go ahead and go to Deuteronomy 28. All right. 28, we're going to read 45 through 51 and then 65 and 66. Okay. So Deuteronomy 28, 45 through 51. And then we're going to go 65, 66. All right. So when we first started out and we looked at the thumbnail, it talked about the Osage murders and the curse, right? There's no curse. It says oil curse on Osage Indians. There's no curse. Not how you think it. It's a curse based off of Deuteronomy 28 because these are the Israelites. These are Israelites. Okay, that's what the curse is. Not obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what the curse is. All right, and he used this devil, okay, for judgment. Okay, there's a scripture that talks about the sword. Esau is the sword. Okay, Let's go. Let me see. Wicked, which is thy sword. All right, this is just a little side note. It's a side note. This wasn't in my notes, but see if I can pull it up for you. There it is. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. From men, which are thy hand, O Yahweh. Okay? So men are the hand of the Lord. Okay? And so the wicked is his sword. Now let me show you something. This is Job 19 and 29. It says, Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. Okay? So just keep in mind, the Lord is always doing multiple things at one time. He's the master at what they call it, multitasking. The Lord will punish one group of people, all right, and hold another group of people accountable for punishing them. All right. So you got one group of people going off, they're gonna get the judgment of the Lord, and then at the same time, these evil bastards gonna get their punishment. So that's how it works. Okay. So the wicked is the sword. All right. So let's go ahead and get that Deuteronomy 28. We're gonna start at 45 and read to 51, and then we're gonna jump to 65 and read to 66. All right, Deuteronomy 28 and 45, it says, Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever, because thou servest not Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Okay, now we know that happened to the Judite brothers. Okay, it says 49, Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Okay? And everywhere where the Israelites have been, all right, whether in America or in Jerusalem, the same thing has happened. All right, so let's get this 65 and 66. It says, And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life. Okay? And so when you watch the Osage movie, this Killers of the Flower Moon, okay, what you see here is people, all right, with all of this wealth, and they're afraid, all right, because they're being picked off one at a time, and they got no help, no help. Okay, Beautiful movie. Check it out. All right. I pray that this lesson has been edifying. Until the next one. Shalom.